The government is trying to prepare us for this. A zombie apocalypse. The infamous astrologer Nostradamus predicted something like this could happen in 2021. Specifically, he said a scientist is going to create a, quote, biological weapon that will bring the dead back to life. CDC says, well, that's not likely to happen, but just in case, the agency wants you to be prepared. They have a new ad campaign telling you to get ready for the emergency. It includes this poster advising you to get a kit, make a plan, and be prepared. CDC experts say you should prepare for zombies just like you would prepare for any real-life emergency. They want you to create an emergency kit with essentials like food and water, medications, important documents, and first aid. You can find the full zombie survival guide or advice for any other emergencies. It's up right now on the CDC website. As hilarious as that may seem, you know, 2020 and 2021 brought us things that we never expected. So why rule it out? You know, why not just prepare?
The day the
zombies,
the day the zombies show up will be the day. Yeah, you won't see me.
Right. Oh, exactly. Me either. We won't be at work. We'll be with the zombies.
We're back at Cheap Pops Radio Coast to Coast. This is Thomas, the Hitman Barnes, here with Ryan Shaw.
What's up?
The main man, Jerry Futch.
Oh, I'm the main man.
Futch.
Fuck. Yeah. It only gets worse from there, man.
Man, I'm really excited. First episode of Coast to Coast Season 2.
Yeah, man, already.
I remember, Ryan, back in the day when I was drunk and me and you were DMing about starting the whole thing.
Yeah, crazy, man. Already a year later.
Awesome. Already a year later. And you talk about something kind of special, something kind of fun, something kind of catchy for the debut for the season. I want to talk about zombies and America's pop culture infatuation
Yeah.
with, the living dead.
Yeah, man, it goes a long ways. I mean, just within the I guess the groundbreaking cinematic moment would be Night of the Living Dead. I think that was
That
the
first
one that
movie,
kinda,
the black and white one.
George Romero.
Yeah, the George Romero stuff. That is the standard.
Yeah, that's kind
And that was groundbreaking in a lot of different ways because it's one of the very first movies that I can remember that actually had a bona fide African American lead.
That's right.
Yeah, and they've really maintained that.
Yeah.
Well, there's been Ving Rhames.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the? But honestly, culturally, they really kind of embraced the whole horror aspect because that was really underrepresented.
Yeah.
That's the thing is always kind of weird with kind of like that racial kind of stuff is you see it first in science fiction and horror, like Star Trek. You had Commander Uhura.
Yeah.
And in the horror movies, Night of the Living Dead, you had the African American lead, and he was the main character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And and that movie was silent, the very first one. I
Yeah.
would say.
For the most part, I think.
It was like totally crazy in that movie, man. Even to this day, when I watch it today, it stands the test of time. It's just a great movie.
It is. It's like it's comparable to like a Psycho, something like that. Still withholds the test of time.
And I kind of love the way they spent it off until you remember that one in the 80s?
Which
It was
one?
kind of, it was Return to the Living Dead.
Right. The the one with the mall and the
No, that was 3.
Oh, that was
That was-
okay.
That was 3. Part 2, Return to the Living Dead, was that 80s kind of punk rock.
Oh,
Night of
yeah.
the Living Dead
Yeah.
that had, they had the kind of the Michael Jackson connotations.
Yeah, the
With
thriller,
the
thriller
cemetery
type
and stuff
thing
like
going
yeah,
on.
exactly.
Yeah. The thing with the zombies though is like it seems like it really had an uptick after Night of the Living Dead. I think like reading up about this stuff, I think the first time the word zombie was used was like in the 1820s in some literature that this author did, like Night on Brazil or something, and he didn't have the E at the end of it, but it's really in the I guess the scale of history with mythology and fiction with humanity. It's really a recent phenomenon. It's not anything new. I mean, I guess you could get offensive and say Jesus was like kind of like a zombie story. He rose from the dead.
It's the greatest zombie story on earth.
It is, but I mean, you could
I
say
never, and to you guys' credit, I never would have thought about it. Like
yeah,
that
if you
before.
think about it, that's the earliest zombie thing I could think of. I mean, and Lazarus, that was in the Bible as well.
For me, I
Right.
think zombies were more for nerds.
Mhm.
Back in like the 80s and the 90s. But I think when The Walking Dead actually debuted on AMC,
Yeah.
and that was so well done at the beginning. I think it fell off later. We'll get into that later. But they did zombies the way it could be done, and they were one of the very first shows that kind of, outside of HBO, took in that slow burn kind of slow storytelling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They would have, 12 episodes a season, but there was always that story, and they built it over
It's
time.
old school, man. It's like that's like a lost art almost.
And I like that you bring up the whole kind of fringe nerd, like little nerd niche, because it really was. It was kind of a first cousin to sci-fi, and yet you don't really get enough respect for the nerdy connotation of it, but it is kind of the nerdiest of the horror genre.
It is.
I
mean, you think about besides film, you had the video games like Resident Evil.
Yeah.
They weren't zombies per se, but they had the same kind of motion. They were infected.
Well, I consider that
Yeah,
a
you
zombie
consider it
game.
zombie because
Yeah.
they basically are. They're they're moving objects that don't have a mind of their own
Right.
anymore. Just like The Last of Us, that type of thing.
Oh, that was a good game.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I never played the sequel, but first one was amazing.
And ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back here on Cheap Pops Radio Coast to Coast, sponsored by JMT Shirts and Cartoon U.
This is your favorite artist, Ryan Shaw with Cartoon U. Check out my website, cartoon-u.com, your place for custom art, fan art, wrestling art, and logo designs. Use promo code CheapPops19 for a 15% off your order. And give me a follow on Instagram at Cartoon Ryan.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Cheap Pops Coast to Coast. We're talking about zombies and their effect on America and, you know, the effect on the world pretty much, and kind of the entertainment industry and the way we see life. And, you know, we talked about the video games. And, you know, speaking of, you know, the video games and the movies, there's comic books. There's so many variations of the zombies. Like, you've got the original zombies from Night of the Living Dead. They were kind of slow. They went, you know, brains.
Yeah.
But they were really, they didn't have a lot of coordination. You know what I mean? And then you got the zombies like 28 days later.
The running zombies.
The running zombies.
Terrifying.
And that's what made that movie. Because we had all these expectations of these slow zombies. And then all of a sudden, 28 days later, which was set in the UK, I believe.
Yeah, it was the UK.
It was set in the UK, so it was a different scene. It was a different world than we had seen zombies in previously.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it just blew my mind because these zombies were running.
Yep.
Now, don't forget, Game of Thrones basically introduced the frost zombie. So,
It's true.
So that's a whole different class now, essentially. And you know, they had, like, even in Resident Evil, they weren't always called zombies.
No, they
So
never-
really, just I think the frost zombie is I think that's a legitimate subclass now. But but really, Resident Evil was the most terrifying because they got the big dogs, they got all kinds of like they kept on evolving. Those were evolving. So like, what's the most terrifying? Honestly, what's your opinion on what's the most terrifying kind of zombie? The running zombie, or the lumbering zombies that are just everywhere, or is it that evolving zombie that's just suddenly going to be like a huge dog?
For me, that's what's more terrifying is the Resident Evil type scenario.
I was just about to say Nemesis.
Yeah.
Was that video game boss that I just got so pissed.
Yeah.
That I had to keep trying. It was I think it was it was Resident Evil 3. It was Nemesis.
Nemesis 4 was good too.
And like it's just man, but like zombies, we fell in love with them because I mean, what would happen? Imagine just being there. You wake up, the world's kind of crazy. You turn on the radio, and all of a sudden you see the news, just like they had in the original movie, where you heard the news, but it was on the radio in the original.
That's what made Last of Us so great at the
Yes.
very beginning. Is them asleep on the couch or whatever, and then he looks up at the news and chaos. It's just total chaos. It's all falling apart around them.
You know, and it's too plausible not to be terrifying. I mean, that's what's so great about it. That you know, the same thing that's great about comets and shit hitting the earth and killing all of us movies is zombie movies. You know, it's so incredibly plausible. It's something that we're always kind of on the precipice of. I mean, look at where we are right now, and make no mistake, there are people out there that are afraid of the vaccine because they think that will turn them into some kind of zombie state. There's all kinds of madness, but right now, a zombie apocalypse seems more plausible than ever. And it makes it terrifying. It's awesome.
I mean,
Dude, I actually saw, like, because sometimes, like, especially, like, you know, after, like, all that Capitol riot stuff and, you know, all the, you know, the QAnon stuff.
They look like zombies.
Like, I actually saw stuff like, you know, you take that vaccine. Because I like to go on Twitter. And I'll just put, you know, hashtag this or hashtag that. And that's how I search for everything.
Yeah.
And so one night I just put, you know, QAnon, but, you know, I wanted to, you know, read about it. And they actually was like, the vaccine will turn you into a zombie. And this guy, it was a guy, like, a total Kyle. And he's just like, it's going to turn us into zombies. It's going to give us, they're giving us the virus.
I would like to ask them, where are they? Because, like, how many millions now have had it?
Well, no, they honestly, they think it's going to take a while. They think it just takes a while to mutate. So it'll take years.
That's how crazy it is. That is literally
People have
how
lost their
crazy
goddamn minds. People have lost their
I
minds.
just think it's funny that there are people who are like, no, the news is implausible. The news couldn't possibly be, and I'm no fan of the media at all.
Oh, I'm not either.
But just like the news, like that's all lies. But there's something that Bill Gates is putting in everybody that's going to make us all flesh-eating animals.
That's what I'm saying is like, okay, so the news is all lies. All that's lies, but what they're saying
But what
is
are you
100%
believing?
true.
Like it doesn't mean just because the news is lies doesn't mean that Tom and Jerry is real. I mean, it's still bullshit. It's just different kinds of bullshit with a different motive.
Yeah.
I think there are trolls out there. I think there are huge trolls out there that are getting a big kick out of spreading this stuff, and there are a bunch of people with low education levels and high levels of anger who are just going to sucker into anything to feel special.
It's true.
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, on that rant, we're going to take a break here on Cheap Pops Coast to Coast.
It's your boy $20 Man, repping Jamie Martinez's hottest merch table in the game.
Whoa. It's Jaime Martinez.
And shut up, Thomas Ball. Let $20 Man do this commercial the right way. Look, hottest merch table got the largest inventory of shirts in WWF, ECW, WCW, Mexico, and even Japan. Give them a follow on Instagram at hottest merch table in the game. Or on Facebook, just plain old Jamie Martinez.
Why, the shirt?
we interrupt your regularly scheduled broadcast to bring you a special breaking news bulletin. The Skokie Police Department reports that large-scale violence and hysteria have broken out in the downtown area. The cause of the violence remains unknown at this time, but police have urged citizens to remain in their homes. We go to Reg on the scene for more.
Thanks, Colleen. I'm standing here in downtown Skokie, and as you can see behind me, the whole area has deteriorated into a scene of chaos. Cars have been overturned and set on fire, storefront windows have been smashed, and the rioters seem to be in a state of drunken hysteria. I hate to say it, Colleen, but they look like zombies.
Thanks for that report, Reg. Let's try not to jump to any conclusions. We'll check back in as the situation progresses. In the meantime, we take you back to your regularly scheduled program.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here at Cheap Pop's Coast to Coast. Zombies, zombies, zombies. It's in your head, it's in your head. So, I want to talk about, we brought up earlier, zombie video games. Like, my favorite was, Left 4 Dead. And Left 4 Dead was, you the character, the game player, played the role of a photographer who just was sent here just to, kind of hang out at the mall and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, the zombie outbreak starts.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're actually in a mall using shit you find at a department store to fight off millions of zombies, and there were so many zombies.
That's cool.
Everywhere you look, and back then, there wasn't a lot of that in video games.
No, not back then. Because that was 20-something years ago now?
Yes. It's been a while.
Early 2000s, I think that was.
It's old.
Yeah.
It was fun, because that was one of the first games where you really got a glimpse. Like, we take it for granted now. Because, I play Warzone or, Call of Duty, and you're on at any given time with 150, 200 people.
That's what I was about to say.
Right.
It's you get in lobbies now, and it's 99 to 120 players.
Like, you checked in playing Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
The space sim.
Hundreds.
How many people are on one server?
Oh, minimum it's probably 99 on a server or more.
And you got games like Eve Online, which is is a PC game.
Yeah.
At any given time, you've got 35,000 people on it.
Oh yeah, oh no, I used to play World of Warcraft, and that was
my brother.
That's another big one.
yeah,
He
yeah,
lost
yeah,
his life to that game. Almost.
Oh yeah, oh I did too, man. I had the needle in my arm.
My brother was my brother. I'm not gonna say which brother, but he was unemployed at the time, and it got so pathetic that he saved up coins for air cards.
Oh,
Like a homeless person. Going
Yeah,
in he
yeah.
recycled cans basically, and just to play World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
sad.
I was a functional addict. I was
Yeah.
I was working
He
at
was
Best
a
Buy
functional.
just to get those cards, man.
dude, hey, I'm the same way. Like Eve Online, I was just talking about that. I love
Yeah.
that game.
That's a fantastic.
Because that game, you literally, they don't tell you, there's no grand story.
That's what I love about these games, though.
You're just
It
a
is your
guy
own
in
story.
space. And when I first started, I was kind of scared to fight it. So I'm
Yeah.
I don't know how to be a miner. And then all of a
This
sudden,
is just like Elite Dangerous, same thing.
yeah, and I was mining, and then I realized this other guy was mining over there, and then I realized that he was going back and forth to a station,
Yeah.
and then I realized I could literally steal his shit
While he's going back and
while
forth.
he's going. So I went and I stole his shit, and he came back and tried to fight me, and I had never had that much excitement. Because it's it wasn't a story that brought us
you're
together.
doing it yourself.
I went, I gained his shit, and now he's
But
trying to
that's
kill
what
me.
I love about open world games like that is you choose your own destiny. If you want to be a coalition of people that police the whole galaxy, you can get
Right.
20 people that share the same vision as you, and you could be a police force or a pirate force, like a pirate squad, and just bomb people like you see into oblivion.
Commander Shaw, Bob's away.
Aye, Captain Barnes.
Hey, but speaking of kind of zombie games or that State of Decay
Yeah.
by Xbox. I don't know if you guys ever played that. That's kind of like that open world kind of gimmick.
Yeah, I love open.
You go through and you get your little zombie survivor camp together, and,
Yeah.
and people die. That actually, when I went through that game and I played it, I played as the main character, and then he died, and the main character of the story ended up being a completely random other person, and that's what they do it.
There was a game on PS3, and it was Heavy Rain, and it was like that. It had a story that went with it, But if a character died, that was it. It was like they were done with the story. Like if they died, they died. But if they didn't die, they would keep going through the whole story. It was really epic. It had different paths you could take.
That's the game that started burning people's systems out.
Yeah.
It was eating the processor.
It was fantastic, though. It was like a detective type. Well, it was a combination. It was like action, adventure, detective, all that. And you played like 3 different characters, so it was really cool. Any one of them could die. And then when they died, they were out of the story. But it's just amazing what you can do with this tech, man. And then tying it back into zombies, though, it's the same thing with cinema. You got these different. It turned from Night of the Living Dead to then you got 28 Days Later where they can run and stuff, and then
terrifying.
Walking Dead.
Oh, and don't forget Zombieland.
Zombieland was fantastic.
Like I love Zombieland.
Zombieland was the most honest thing we've seen on zombies in forever, though.
Yeah.
Because everyone just wants to romanticize them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it was fun.
And the search for the Twinkies.
Dude, Shaun of the Dead's hilarious too.
That's got
great.
Scotty from Star Trek in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's really good.
That's one of my favorites. That's
I love
probably
that
my actual favorite zombie movie. And I know it shouldn't be. I know it's spoofed, but Jesus, it's a respectable zombie movie.
It is. It's fun.
You have some really great moments. You have fire. You know, if you look at all the great zombie epics, you got to look at the little components of them, and fire is so huge. I don't think you can have these movies without controlling them with some kind of fire.
Yeah.
And, because that does kind of seem to ward them off a little bit.
It's true.
Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we'll be right back here on Cheap Pop's Coast to Coast.
Best friend is a machine gun. Me and T, we have so much fun. He used to be friends with Bonnie and Clyde. John Dillinger took it for a ride. Run, baby, run, I got my Tommy gun. Run, baby, run, I got my Tommy gun. Run, baby, run, I got my Tommy gun. 700 rounds, I'll shoot you down. The thunder on the streets of Chicago town. Come on, the police, he shot him down. Now he's with me and I squeezed him so hard. We play for the crowd, riding my car. Run, baby, run, I got my Tommy gun. Run, baby, run, I got my Tommy gun. Run, baby, run, I got my Tommy gun. 700 rounds, I'll shoot you down. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Run, baby, run, I got my Tommy gun. Run, baby, run, I got my Tommy gun. Run, baby, run, I got my Tommy gun. 700 rounds, I'll shoot you down. Run, baby, run, I got my Tommy gun. Run, baby, run, I got my Tommy gun. Run, baby, run, I got my Tommy gun. 700 rounds, I'll shoot you down.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here on Cheap Pop's Coast to Coast. Man, we're talking about movies. We're talking about video games. We're talking about zombies. And, one of my favorite games had kind of a zombie spinoff. A Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, man, Undead, dude. How different is it? How weird. They recreate, all they did was, unapologetically, out in the open, they said, we're just recreating the game with zombies. How different is it just blasting zombies in the head than shooting these imaginary pixelated fucking people at a game.
Dude, and it felt like such a different game too.
That's
Even
exactly-
though it
yeah.
was the same, it was
would.
different.
That's what was great about it is that it felt like a different game because they even changed the lighting on it. They made it look different, but it was the same game engine. It was the same characters. Everybody was undead and it was perfect.
Yeah, I love the horses. I love
The 4 horses of the apocalypse. I mean, that was
Yeah.
a great little bonus add-on.
You know, and that's the great thing. Rockstar Games.
Rockstar.
You've got to give Rockstar Games a lot of prop. They give fans what they fucking want.
Right.
You go through Grand Theft Auto, and you know they get a lot of flack from like parents,
Always. Bunch of
PC,
Karens,
the
man.
leftists, the cancelists. But no matter how much flack they get, they still give us the game that we want.
They give it to us every time, dude. In underrated series too. They give you things that people don't even. Dude, the Max Payne series, one of my.
Oh, I
favorite-
love Max Payne.
yeah.
Max Payne
Max
3.
Payne is awesome.
Max Payne 3 just totally changed it. I don't know if you guys ever played that one.
That was one of that's actually the very first game that I really experienced like co-op multiplayer and like fighting each other
so
online.
good, so good.
Which back then there wasn't a lot of that because the
No,
whole
it was
kind of
still new.
multiplayer, everything was new. And then before I ever did Call of Duty or Warzone or like even the team death matches in the earlier ones, they didn't have them.
Max Payne was cool because it created that whole squad thing.
Yes.
That whole faction deal. You could even have your own colors and all that. And once again, it's Rockstar. I mean, they just innovate. They always innovate some kind of way.
They're the Jerry Bruckheimer of
Yeah.
game studios.
It's true.
Really, it's just you just want explosions and options and cool shit and some decent cutaways.
I actually think they missed the boat because I think Rockstar Games should have just said, "Hey, Quentin Tarantino, give us a movie and we're going to make a video game out of
Video
it."
game about it. Can you imagine a Pulp Fiction as the video game?
Exactly.
But Rockstar had their hands
Rockstar
on-
making it,
Holy
directed by
shit.
Quentin Tarantino.
Because think
All
about
the
it,
guest
dude.
voices like Chaz Palminteri,
Yeah,
or
Bruce
Keitel, or
Dude,
yeah,
but and Christopher Walken and all.
Buscemi, yeah.
Yeah, but think about it, dude. They have the tech for it because Grand Theft Auto 5, you could switch between Michael, Franklin, and Trevor. Shit, you get freaking Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta and fucking all these other. You can switch between them because that's how Pulp Fiction was told. The story was different points of view. It'd be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect video game.
Hey, you know that Red Dead Zombies game was epic because I didn't expect it.
Right.
It's just all of a sudden, wow,
Came out of nowhere.
this game I've already played, I've already beat it, I've already moved on to something else. And I was like, oh wow, it's zombies, it's
Yeah.
cowboys.
And then what happened right after that? Call of Duty did zombies.
Oh,
Yes,
that's right.
Call of Duty Zombies
Black Ops 2
is
was
big
my-
for that
no,
franchise.
Black Ops, the first Black Ops zombies,
Yeah,
still
yeah.
my favorite. All the Nazi zombies and shit.
And they're
yeah.
still using this to this day, like
Yeah.
an actual war zone now.
Yeah.
Well, and it's crazy how much staying power zombie games all have. You know,
Yeah.
I remember playing the 3 or 4 disc. What was that on the Dreamcast? But like people are still playing those old Dreamcast versions
Yeah.
of the
Resident Evil.
yeah Resident
Yeah.
Evil that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
But Undead Nightmare that came out in 2010. I mean, and we're still talking about it. I think zombie games have this insane staying power, and they're always such great games. They're always such great movies. You know, there's so much you can do with it. But why is that? I think it's because we've just
It's
yeah.
an end of the world. It's an end of the world story
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
exciting and fun.
right.
It's one of those where you still might have a chance to survive because
Mm-hmm.
they're on. All they are is like they're a version of us that's souped up and undead and reanimated, but they want to kill. But you still feel like you can possibly survive if you get with the right
It's
people.
kind of the best apocalypse that we
Yeah.
could possibly have. Like, if a meteor hits us,
It's boring.
everyone's eating shit.
Yeah.
But like, if something just comes and kills the sun forever, I don't care what cave you're in, you're effed. But with zombies, it's like, okay, I can get on a routine and kind of figure some things out, and be the first person to loot the bullets over at at academy or whoever still carries bullets. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
But
The world ain't changing.
But it's so plausible. Like all of it is living is so plausible. It happening is so plausible, and you get to see people fucking get eaten.
Well, and you're talking about the meteors crashing into Earth. That's it's less exciting. Put Aerosmith in the background. You got yourself a movie. So
Sorry. You know what the worst apocalypse ever was?
what?
Coronavirus. And on that note, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back here on Cheap Pops Coast to Coast. Sponsored by JMT Shirts and Cartoon You.
This is your favorite artist, Ryan Shaw with Cartoon U. Check out my website, cartoon-u.com, your place for custom art, fan art, wrestling art, and logo designs. Use promo code CHEAPPOPS19 for a 15% off your order. And give me a follow on Instagram at Cartoon Ryan.
I was on a mission, I was on a plane. This is my transmission, I know I sound insane. Please just listen, pick me up, hold it down. Baby, just don't let me drown. Pick me up, hold it down. Baby, just don't let me drown. I am not a trickster, this is not a game. Wanna be a hero, 10 minutes of fame. Please just listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here at Cheap Pops Coast to Coast, and we've been talking about zombies all night. And one thing I really wanted to bring up, like when you think about pop culture franchises in the modern day landscape of American entertainment, you think Marvel, you think DC, you think Star Trek, you think Star Wars, and I think the youngest, but probably the brightest, is zombie, and I think it's The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I mean, The Walking Dead gets mainstream attention. It's been running since 2010. It's got 2 separate spin-offs. You've got the comics. They're actually about to have a movie.
Wow.
Featuring Rick, who was the original kind of hero when the Walking Dead TV show started. So that franchise has kind of taken American entertainment by storm here in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I think it's taken the place of Night of the Living Dead and zombie mythology. It's like the top zombie franchise now because it's been going on for so long, and it has all those different, like the spin-offs and the comics. I mean, it's the premier zombie, franchise. Like I said, it's just it's interesting to see how all this has evolved too over the years. It's like we were talking about the evolution of the zombies throughout like films and video games and all the different concepts you get from it. And it's just something that to me, like when you look at all the zombies, so it's something that you feel could possibly happen. You got the people talking about the vaccinations and, different viral outbreaks that could happen. They could just turn our brains to mush possibly and make us turn into, a zombie more or less,
I mean, there are Haitian cultures that have always thought that given the right level of faith, someone could create a zombie from someone else. I mean, it's always it's not only plausible in one in one area of the world or one culture. I mean, there's zombie stories from all over the world.
True. I mean, tongue in cheek, we were talking earlier about like the whole resurrection story with Jesus, but if you look at the Bible, there's instances of characters rising from the dead. You had Lazarus come back to life, and when I was a kid and I would hear that story, I was like, I thought of a zombie. I thought of a guy that had like rotting skin rising up from his grave, and it was freaky sounding to me. It was scary. So I think that has been, it's been one of those things like ghosts and immortality. It's in the afterlife, things in human mythology that keep evolving over time. It's basically what I get, the vibe I get from it.
Where do you see the future of zombie lore? Do you see it burning out, or do you see it continuing, lasting, as we've seen Star Trek and Star Wars and of course Marvel and Superman, Batman?
I see it continuing because you have these game franchises like Last of Us is still. They had a sequel recently. That genre is going to be, I think, here to stay for a while at least.
I think there's always going to be space for zombies.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to find the perfect villain, and they are, they're the perfect villain that doesn't need a whole lot of explanation. They don't need a whole lot of motivation. We've already kind of accepted the rules. I just think it's a great maxim to keep on creating movies and shows, but really comic books. I mean, we're not giving enough respect to comic books centered around this, and that's what Walking Dead was supposed to be. And honestly, I'm one of those fanboys that I'm gonna bitch about it. I wanted to be a purist going into this, and Walking Dead didn't satisfy that for me.
And that's the thing with adaptations. Like when you watch comic book movies, and you're like a comic nerd like we are, you're just like, wait a minute, that didn't go down like that.
Well, see,
I think not how he is.
That platform is different.
Yeah.
Because when you prepare something for TV, you've got to be able to grab a casual viewer.
You have to, exactly.
Whereas when you're doing a comic book, you want to be accessible to a certain niche of fan.
It's true. And it's a precise audience that wants that specific.
And especially like they gave from the beginning, they gave Walking Dead that primetime Sunday spot, which is where you've got The Sopranos, all your Sunday like big time shows, like Game of Thrones was your HBO Sunday night. Like every channel, every subscription, they've got this is our Sunday night.
Yep.
And I think Walking Dead's done good at that job, though. I think, I'll be honest, I haven't seen a lot of the comics, so I'm kind of on the different side with Jerry. Yeah. But when I did watch the show, like, I loved the first 3 or 4 seasons, but at some point they got to where it was too slow of storytelling. Because they would do stuff where you would have a dramatic conclusion, it was a cliffhanger, and then the very next episode would go way across the world to some other story. And you still don't know what happened to the cliffhanger before. So like you're waiting 2 or
You're
3
still
weeks,
wondering, yeah.
and they do it to make you watch. But you've got to give fans that orgasm too, because it's like when you go on the date with like somebody, and you're making out and this and that, but you don't get that final conclusion.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man, I gotta wait another week.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I've gotten blue balls for a show.
No, it's true.
Definitely,
though.
for sure.
But you got to have that fine balance. It's like, how long do you make them wait? That's my thing. Is like 3 weeks is a bit much.
For a TV show that's running like every week,
that's a bit much.
you can't do that.
Maybe 2 weeks max. Is
Like
what
a
I'd say.
comic book where you're doing that like an issue,
Yeah.
and you got an issue dropping every 3 or 4 months, which I think is norm nowadays.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like that's totally understandable.
Yeah.
But when you're on a TV show that's prime time and you wait all week,
Yeah.
and then you know when it started, you know there wasn't that big DVR push like there is now.
Yeah.
But so you're having to wait. I think that's unacceptable for mainstream TV.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I mean, it's like you got to have that fine balance because like if you don't, to me, you're going to start losing people if you make them wait too long because then after a while you just give up. You're just like, where is this going? I'm done. That's how I
You know, but they've already kind of figured out exactly how long we're willing to wait for. I mean, there's like a research group or like a process group, some kind of examination for every kind of audience. They know exactly how long we're willing to wait. I mean, we're just having the strings pulled on us, and I don't mind. Like, but
I think it's better, but you don't want to go too long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. You don't want it
You
too
don't
long.
want to go too long.
yeah.
Don't want it too long. You gotta tell the story. It's cool. It's cool to hook them in, but you do it like maybe a week to 2 weeks tops, and then out of nowhere you just hit them with
Bam.
it. Hit them with it.
So
Go for it, Jerry.
no, I was gonna change gears. I was gonna say what's so terrifying about zombies? I mean, you
For
have,
me, it's the
you have
thought. For me, it's the thought that tomorrow I could wake up after a hard night of drinking, wake up, you know, and I'd go out to get my little breakfast tacos,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden the world would just be fucked up. Because you could see that happening.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, just our complete world changing, like pretty
Yeah.
much like it has this year, except everyone's eating everyone else now.
Yeah, we
But-
are the zombies.
Especially when you're seeing things at the rate that we see them now.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing things we never thought we would see ever in
Oh,
our
yeah.
And
lifetimes,
not in
like
the
once
right
every 2
ways.
months.
Like we were thinking about flying cars and hoverboards.
Yeah, and we
And
never
no.
thought about like quarantine.
And the insurrection.
Insurrections or quarantine.
It's
Yeah.
like, it's like and black people still getting choked out in public and stuff. It's
And
just,
like Russia, like
Yeah,
we're
Russia.
probably about to go to war
Yeah.
in Russia right now.
war. It's just all craziness. It's not what I thought.
And ladies and gentlemen, on that note, thank you for listening to Cheap Pops Coast to Coast for Jerry Futch and Ryan Shaw. This is Thomas, the Hitman Barnes. Thank you for listening to Cheap Pops Radio, Coast to Coast, sponsored by JMT Shirts and Cartoon U.
I got this weight on my shoulders, slowing me down. I don't know how it came about. And while the world is spinning faster every night, I feel I'm stuck in reverse somehow. But it ain't no one's fault that I am stuck here. No one to blame this on, feeling so hopeless. I keep on pouring salt on my wounds when I shouldn't stay. I feel the pressure on me, how it's itching under my own skin. It's getting real hard to breathe. trying to pull me out. But how do I get out? Yeah, how do I get out? I feel the pressure on me, how it's itching under my own skin. It's getting real hard to breathe. I gotta move on right now. I feel the pressure.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Cheap Pops Radio, sponsored by JMT Shirts and Cartoon U. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Cheap Pops Radio, and you can reach us at cheappopsradio@gmail.com for anything you'd like to know about Cheap Pops Radio and Cheap Pops Coast to Coast.